It's the book club, and this time a brand new collection of short stories from a terrific indie author. This is When the Devil Calls by Bethany Russo. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, and this is a place where often I talk to you about Stephen King, but in this spin-off series, I'm recommending great horror books to you that are not written by Stephen King. Yeah, this is my book club, where each week I talk about a book that I've read and that I've enjoyed and that I think you will too. And in each episode, I give you a synopsis of the book, a bit about the author, a spoiler-free review, and I try and align it to a Stephen King book. Give you a Stephen King book that kind of feels like it's from the same part of the world, just to help you decide whether you're going to check this book out for yourself. And if you do go and check this book out, or any of the almost 100 books that are in the book club playlist right now, if you go and check them out and you enjoy them, once you've read them, make sure you review them and rate them on the Storygraph, on Amazon, on Goodreads, all of those places. And if you really like them, rave about them to your friends on your social media, buy people copies, all of that kind of stuff. Hey, set up a YouTube channel and review it, whatever. Just get people enthused about great horror books, okay? Now, the book club can be a mixture of either brand new releases or just releases that are brand new to me. This one is a brand new release. It has only just come out a couple of weeks ago. It's a new collection by one of my favourite British indie horror authors, Bethany Russo. It's called When the Devil Calls. It's really good fun, and I'm going to talk to you about it right now. Okay, here's your synopsis of When the Devil Calls. When the Devil Calls includes 2 novellas, 4 short stories, and 3 previously published stories. Aliens cause havoc at a service station in Lancaster and continue to terrorise the cleaners at 2 hotels in Plymouth. A woman recounts the horrors that lurked in the woods at her favourite childhood campsite in Dorset. 2 women fight their way from Ambleside to Grasmere on the first day of the zombie apocalypse. A man takes part in the Chippenham Scarecrow Trail. With a human-looking scarecrow in his front garden, he's surprised one night when it's missing and is then interrupted by a knock at the door. 2 new friends pay a visit to Sally in the woods in their hometown of Bath, only to discover the woods hold more than just a creepy ghost story. And here's a bit about the author for you. So Bethany Russo is an indie horror, poetry and fantasy author from the southwest of England. She lives with her husband, son and their 2 cats. When not writing, you can usually find her spending time with her family or animals and getting outside for a long walk. One of her favourite ways to spend her spare time is reading. Russo's favourite genres are horror and dark fantasy. She has a special love for all things weird and wonderful, especially if it includes folklore or myths. Follow Russo on Instagram at Bethany Russo Writes. So there's your background. Let's get into my spoiler-free review of When the Devil Calls. So I really enjoyed this collection of short works from one of the shining lights of the British indie horror author scene. The tales gathered here are full of heart and humanity, as well as, well, gore and blood and aliens and zombies and all of those kind of things. It was also a real delight to see this collection set in the UK. Like, I get it, I get the allure for British authors of writing something in America, because America is mysterious and sort of idealized from cinema and pop culture. But it really heartens me when I see my fellow British authors embracing this weird and horrible little island where we live and setting stories here. And in this collection, Russo takes us up and down the country and delivers on the scares. Now, I actually have notes for all of the stories in this collection, so I'm going to pull those up and take you through them right now. That's what I like to do with short story collections, right? So let's get into it. Okay, so we kick off with Fordham Service Station, and this one is Aliens in Lancashire. It's a creepy tale rooted in a motorway service station. I think that's a highway for US viewers. I don't know what you call service stations, rest points maybe. Anyway, this motorway service station has a dark secret. The tension really builds throughout, and when we get this devastating climax, it's a really strong opener to the collection. Next up is the Scarecrow Trail, which is proof, if you didn't already know it, that scarecrows are just scary as fuck. We get this creepy tale of an old man who is either losing his mind or finding himself in a situation where he wishes he was losing his mind, because the reality is far too scary to contemplate. Next up was The Man in the Box, which was probably my favourite in the collection. It's a really unnerving tale of childhood horror. It's grisly, It's a gnarly little story, and it is unflinching in the grim and the gore. So it was brilliant that I happened to be reading this while I was eating breakfast one morning. I can't say I advise that, even though it is a good story. Next up was Bat Out of Hell, which was a most unusual and intriguing ghost story told during an after-dark bat walk through the woods. Kind of, bonkers and really fun. Cleaner Needed. Now, this story was admittedly kind of silly, but I just went with it and enjoyed it. And it's aliens in Plymouth. And not only is it aliens, it's the same aliens from Lancashire from earlier. So we get someone basically being abducted by aliens to clean their ship. Like I say, kind of mad, but it worked. Next up was What About Tomorrow? Now, this is the zombie story in the Lake District. This one was one of the longer pieces. Really good character work in this story, and a lot of fun set pieces throughout. And I will need to ask Bethany about this, but there's a guest appearance from somebody driving a silver Mercedes and using it as a weapon, even referred to as Mr. Mercedes. Now, if that's not a direct nod to Stephen King, then I don't know what is. But hey, there we go. A little bit of King in the Lake District. Now, the final 3 stories have all been published in other collections, and I realised as I was reading them, I've read all of them before, but it was a delight to go back to them. So the first one was the Pisces Brothers, which is in Horoscope Volume 3, which I think I have a story in as well. I really should have checked that before recording, but there we go. This is a very weird, folksy tale of fishermen and, well, cannibalism, but yeah, it's good. Murder in the Video Store is a bleak and bloody little story, highly violent for such a short page count. And there's a train. Train! And to wrap up, we have The Dead Man, which is a haunting, almost poetic fever dream to round this collection off. And Bethany writes poetry as well, so that's not particularly surprising, I guess. Very dark and a very strong way to finish. So when it comes to a Stephen King comparison, obviously we're looking at the short story collections, and this one has that kind of energy and vibe of the early ones. So you're looking at a sort of Night Shift Skeleton Crew comparison here. Lots of fun. The train is still going. Train! So overall, this was an enjoyable and a worthwhile collection that you should definitely check out and definitely add to your own TBR list. And follow Bethany on social media as well, because she's a great champion of indie horror authors. This book is available. It's on Amazon. You should go and get it. I want to say a huge thanks to Bethany for sending me a review copy. I really had fun with it, and it was a delight to bring it here to the book club for you. So there we go, When the Devil Calls on the book club. Does that sound like something you're going to check out? I really think you should. And if you do, let me know how you get on with it. Now, we've reached the end, so I'm going to throw a couple of quick plugs at you if you're still here. Everything I want to plug is linked down below, but those things are my fiction works. So you see there, that's my collection of short stories. Once More Around the Sun, I'll put it bigger there so you can see it. That's my award-winning short story collection from 2024. You can actually get all of my books for free right now. Just hit the link down below. So as well as my works, you can pick up my Stephen King trivia book, you can find my range of Stephen King themed band shirts, and if you like what I'm doing on this channel, you can become a member, become a constant viewer, get extra content, early access to regular content, support me directly, all of that kind of stuff. But if none of that works for you, just watching these videos makes a huge difference. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, then you won't miss any future videos. And if you're already subscribed, tell a friend, get them involved as well. But otherwise, I will see you again soon, either for chatting about horror movies in my Silver Screen section, chatting about Stephen King elsewhere on the channel, or back here next week for another book recommendation in the book club. Take care and happy reading.